the IM 5533E forms, part B, and in the previous video we completed the supporting documents for sponsor section. Unfortunately, I forgot to save the file, so I have lost all the information we filled yesterday, but it's okay. And today we will be starting to fill the supporting documents for sponsored person, principal applicant section. Okay, so which means that we will be completing from this point onwards. And note that I have set principal applicant checklist over here, which is actually the summary, which is this document converted into a PDF with only the relevant information and no additional information. So I think this could all actually be sponsor. And so under the sponsor, you will convert this document into a PDF with only the key relevant sections information, and you will be attaching at a under checklist, and this will be the this is the name that I actually gave the sponsor's first last name, surname, first name, and then the detail of the document and the number. Okay, try to maintain the sequence so it's easy. Okay, so now we'll start with the primary applicants attachments. Okay, so those attachments you're gonna include depends on this section. Okay, supporting documents for sponsored person. So the first one is identity documents, travel documents and passport. That is an important section, so put a tick. You, the principal applicant, must provide the following of yourself and your family members. Okay, must provide the following, so it's literally asking for all the items below. Okay, it doesn't say one of the following, it says must provide the following. Okay, and in this case, since I'm doing an online application, I'll be providing the scanned PDF copies. The first one is most recent issued passport or travel document for you and your family. Include only copies of the page showing the passport travel document number, date issued, issue expiration, photo, name, surname, date and place of birth holder. If you are in Canada and have previously traveled to Canada, you must include pages of any passport in your possession which bear the entry stamps made by the Canadian authorities. So provide all this information, and for me, of course, I just have to provide that first the initial page, which is a passport detail page like this. Okay, this page, but in some instances there could be amendments done, and those amendments could be recorded in a subsequent page. Okay, so in that case, include that page as well. Okay, that's what comes here. Okay, so let me bring the Excel here, and for me it was the passport page. Okay, so attach that one under the travel documents and passport category document type. Try to find the most relevant category from the document type section. Okay, and then next one is okay, let's keep moving. I'll minimize this a bit so it's easy to see. Okay, if you, principal applicant, are living in Canada, provide proof of your status in Canada. If you do not have stated that please provide an explanation on a separate piece of paper. Okay, so I was not living in Canada, so this was not relevant for me. Okay, birth certificate or baptism certificate of for yourself. So definitely I had the birth certificate, but it was in my mother tongue, which was Sinhala. And then what I did was I got it translated through a lawyer, and in that case I have to include the birth certificate, the original as well as the translated one, primary, because remember under attachment section they are asking you to include both the you must provide the certificate translated copy as well. So in my case, birth certificate, I provided the birth certificate original in Sinhala, okay, as well as the translated one. See, I have provided the translated one. Okay, provide both of them. It says if listed in the country specific requirements for a country. If listed in the country specific requirements for a country. You may remember that we did not have any country specific requirements. Okay. Okay, so country specific requirements only if you're military you have any military services or instructions of it says there are no country specific instructions for documents for this country. Okay, so in this case we can say that we actually considered this point, but if listed in the country specific requirements for a country, then you need to provide it, but neither of the above applies to me. Okay, so that's the point over there. And for this one you can before you print this document you can put an n/8, say not applicable for that part. Okay, so those are the documents you need to provide at within this first section: identity documents, travel documents, and passports. So always when you're putting the document type from your drop down in this, let me go to my application. When you go to additional supporting documents, try to find the one that is most relevant, is a good representation of this topic. Okay, and then upload your file. Attachment. Moving on, civil status document. Okay, so we need to go to this area. Please submit photocopies of the documents pertaining to a specific situation below. Check only boxes that apply to you and provide the documents specified. Current relationship. If you are legally married to your sponsor, provide the marriage certificate or other proof of your marriage is legally registered. Proof that your marriage is legally registered with the government authorities in the jurisdiction where it took place. A record of solemnization or marriage license is not acceptable. Let's see the second one. If you, the principal applicant, have been issued a civil union certificate document, provide a copy. So definitely none of this was provided, but this definitely was. Okay, this is the marriage certificate that we got when we got registered in front of the the marriage registrar. So originally we got it in Sinhala and we got it translated. There is a government agency which does it in Sri Lanka, so we had to go there, we had to pay a fee, and we got 3 copies of the translated version, English version. So this is the English version attached here, marriage certificate translated to English. and the original one, marriage certificate, original in singular. Okay, there you go. So this is the singular one, this is the English one. I don't know why, ideally it would have been like, marriage certificate English or then singular, go in that order, but turns out I have provided in this way. When you're doing it, try to put the similar ones together. Okay. Yeah, moving on. We don't need this one because not relevant. And then let's go through this one, previous relationships. If you have been previously married and divorced, so that was not relevant for me. If the principal have been previously married and his marriage annulled, that was also not relevant. If you were previously married, that was also not relevant. If you were previously sponsored by another person, so it's about the principal applicant, so I was never sponsored by anyone previously, so you simply go with none of the above applies to me. Okay. Okay, then now we are going to move to additional information about children. Okay, note in my case I did not have any children, so what we did was that before we took the after taking the printout, before we uploaded this document to our site, to it here, let me show you the checklist here. Okay, before uploaded it, we put n/a to say not applicable. For here, sorry, don't take it, say NA, here also, here also, here also. So this entire section is not relevant for wasn't relevant for my situation, but in case this is relevant, go in and provide all the information they are requesting without ignoring a single point. Okay, now we are moving on to police certificate and clearances. This is relevant. So let's see, police certificate. If you the principal applicant, who is of course the primary applicant, and the family member 18 years or older, who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents, must submit police clearance that from the following country or countries at the time, unless indicated otherwise on the police certificate website. I need to provide a police certificate. Probably this link would say indicated, say what countries don't want it, but over here any countries other than Canada in which you spend 6 or more months in a row since the age 80. So for me it was Sri Lanka. So type your country. I have decided throughout the application I will use capital, so that's what I provided here. Okay, and then Canadian police. If you have lived in Canada for the last 6 months, this was not relevant for me. Okay, because I never lived for the last 6 months. Is using the following the instructions, try to get the police certificate from your organization, like the country. Okay, we don't need this, so put an NA, or you can just leave it blank, but put an NA. Okay, because it's not relevant for you, since I never lived in Canada. And then consent form. Yeah. Okay. So this section is actually relevant if you're gonna get a Canadian police certificate. Okay. Especially up until here, like this section, it's relevant if you are in need of taking a Canadian police certificate, which was never my case. Okay. Then military services. Did you and our dependent do military services? So we can say no here. And checkbox, if you're providing the military documents, you don't have to provide any military documents. In my case, since because I never did military services, so eventually the police certificate that you get looks like this. Okay, this is exactly something similar to what I got. So what I did was that I applied online, requesting to for a police certificate, and then on a specific day the police called me and they came and they told me to take them to a house that the house owner would know about me and my existence. And we went there and they asked multiple questions from that person, and then they made a note of it, and finally they went. After a few weeks this report got delivered to me, and this is what I attached here. I scanned it and attached in the application under police certificate and clearances. This is what I exactly attached. Okay, let's move on. So this section is done once you attach that document. Okay, this photo is an important one. When applying online, upload the front and back of one photo to your application for each of your accompanying family members and yourself. Okay, so you need to follow this guidelines given. Okay, probably would have seen this file before. We try to copy it if possible. I don't know, something is up with PDF. Okay, this one. Okay, so these are the photo specifications. You need to upload the front and back of one photo, the front and back of your application for each of your accompanying family members and yourself. Follow the instructions in the photo specified. If the photograph you submit do not meet the requirement specification, it may result in processing delay. Okay, so you have to do the exact thing. Okay, so what you simply do is you go to a photograph, like photo studio, and you give these instructions, tell them to take exactly following these rules. And what you're going to do is they will likely give you two photographs, or because you need two photographs for this one. Okay, in front of in the back of one photocopy, you're gonna write the name and date of birth of the primary applicant, okay, the wife who is in Sri Lanka. And then you can ask them if they have a stamp, and then you ask them to stamp it there, and the stamp will contain the name and address of the photo studio. Okay, so you're then gonna scan the front and the back, and you're gonna attach the PDF copy of it. Okay, that's exactly what you're gonna do here. However, in my scenario, so overall this photo is used for your permanent residence card. Unfortunately, the picture that I took in Sri Lanka and submitted did not have my face within the specified area. Okay, the sizes were wrong. So after I landed in Sri Lanka, like in Canada, they sent me an email asking me to submit the photo meeting these regulations. So in that case, I went to a supermarket called Shoppers over here, and they had the service of taking photographs for PR certificates, and they took my picture again, and then I had to they stamped it also with the shop's name and address, and then I wrote my name and date of birth, and I again posted it to the address which was provided in that email that I got requesting to resubmit the photo. So simply you follow the instructions and you scan the front and back of the picture, and you need to attach it. And this is the document that I attached. Okay, this one, primary applicant needs to attach it. You put the surname, the first name, PR photo with photographer details. Okay, so it's that. And then over here, medical examination. Do not complete a medical examination at this time. You will be issued a medical instruction at an appropriate point of processing. If you have completed an immigration medical examination in the past 12 months, please attach a copy of the information sheet from the panel physician and provide the date of your medical examination and the name of the location of the panel physician below. You may still be required to undergo a new medical examination. So what they're saying is, do not do a medical examination until they tell you, because later on, after you submit the application, they will tell you when to go and give your biometrics, when to go and do your medical examination. So you don't have to fill this section. But in an instance where you have done it before and could be used here, then they're asking you to provide that detail. Okay. So in my case, I had to put like N/A here, and I did not have to fill anything. Then over here, the 7th section, proof of relationship to sponsor. Okay, so basically now this is asking, going in detail and asking information about the relationship between the sponsor and the primary applicant. This is gonna be a bit of a juicy section because they're gonna ask everything about your relationship in the past many years you have been touched with. So now we'll start going one by one. You must provide evidence that the relationship between you and the sponsor is genuine. Please review the questions below and submit the documents relevant to your situation. Reminder, to apply under the spouse or common law partner in Canada class, you must be living with your sponsor in Canada. Okay, so this is if you're applying under spouse or common law partner in Canada class. But in my application, it was, we followed the class, a spouse family class outside Canada. Okay, so if you're applying under this one, you must be living with your sponsor in Canada. See the basic guide and complete the guide for more information. If you're not living in the sponsor, you should apply under the family class. That's exactly what my class is. Okay, so let's keep moving. Okay, are you and your spouse living together? In my case, no. Okay, that's why I'm using the outside Canada application class. Then, proof of contact. Provide letters, printed text messages, emails, or social media conversations, or other document proof of the contact between you and your sponsor. Provide maximum of 10 pages with the application. You must provide certified translations in either English or French of all proof of contact documents that are not already in English or French. So thankfully, myself and my spouse, who is the sponsor, we both had we communicated from the very first day we met using WhatsApp. Okay, yeah, mainly WhatsApp, and thankfully we used English to communicate using WhatsApp. So this process was quite straightforward for us. So simply what we did was that they're asking 10 pages of your application. Okay, maximum 10 pages, so don't ever provide more than what they have asked. Okay, so in this case, what we did was that we downloaded the WhatsApp entire WhatsApp conversation. You can download it as a txt file, and now that file will be extremely long, 200 pages if you have been in a 2 years of long distance relationship. So what we did was that we took random sections before and after. I'm randomly saying the key sections, the key points in our life that we included. So as soon as we met, and then the chats we had just before getting married, having a wedding, and section from just after we had we got married, and then the chats we had after, just before he was coming to Sri Lanka to see me, and also any arguments we had. So try to find key areas in your relationship and include that text in that document, okay? Because you won't be able to provide the entire chat. So find the key sections, and then provide those chat extracts in the document. So also, just before you include a section, just give a summary about it. For an example, if it was the initial chats we all had just after getting to know WhatsApp chat history from this date on, okay, to this date, like from April 2020 to maybe June 2020, likewise, okay, provide that range so it won't feel overwhelming if a person tries to read through it, and that person will have a good understanding about, okay, it's this period they're talking about, it's that period they're talking about, okay. And also at the beginning of the file, like this document PDF, like the Word document we first did and we converted to PDF, we said that please note, due to space limitations, 10 pages on, we have only provide extracts of the chat history. If further information is required, we are happy to share the full chat history, okay. Give solid information to them, okay. So ensure that within 10 pages, and when you get the chat extract from WhatsApp, you will see the date and times as well, so it's easy for you to do the document as well, okay. That's how you do this file, okay. Proof of okay, then proof of your sponsors visits, such as airline ticket, coupon, or boarding passes, photocopies of pages of your sponsors passport showing entry exit stamps during visit. If your sponsor did not visit you, make sure you provide explanation, okay. So thankfully my sponsor actually visited me after COVID. He was able to visit with his family. So in this case, I had the airline ticket, okay. I exactly had the airline ticket, and then the boarding pass, also the stamp that they got from the Sri Lankan immigration entrance and as well as exit, as well as the stamps they got from the Canadian airport in terms of leaving and entering the country. So all of those documents, I took scanned copies of them, put them into a Word document, included headings to explain what is provided below, and for each of the documents, like the ticket, the boarding pass, the Canada passport, the stamps he got from the Canada airport, and then the stamps he got from the Sri Lankan airport. Likewise, I provided everything with a heading, so that way for a person who's going through the document, it's extremely clear, okay. Whoever who is going through the document did not have to assume, did not have to double check with me. That person exactly knew what was provided, okay. So after doing it in a Word document, I converted it into PDF and I attached it here, okay. So yes, if you and your spouse are currently living together, so this section was not relevant for me, okay. Then if you did not check the at least two boxes above, I am unable to provide documents for minimum of two of the above set of options. This question is relevant for this, okay, if you are living together with your spouse, because it says pick at least two of the following set of documents, and now they are saying if minimum of two of the above sets of opinions, if you're not able to provide, then you need to provide the justification, okay. So this is A, and we gave answers for the fact reason why you're not living together. Then we are moving on to B. Do you and your spouse have any children together? So in my case it was not the case, we did not have any children. Is this a first marriage for both of you and your sponsor? In my case it was yes. Have you and your sponsor been married for a minimum of 2 years as of the date of application? So in my case it was no, because it had been 2 years. Okay, check here if you answer yes to all four of the above questions, A to D. Okay, so A to D, if it was yes no, so in my case I have 3 no's and 1 yes, so I don't have to check it. If you did not answer yes to all four of the above questions, also provide photo of your wedding, customary celebrations, engagements, outing. Provide maximum of 20 photographs to support your relationship. When applying online, upload the photos to your application in any of the following format. Okay, please upload a separate document providing a brief description of context of each photo provided. Label your photo accordingly. Okay, so let's look at how we did this one first. Okay, providing support hints for this one, photos of wedding, customer celebrations, engagement, or outings. I did something like this. Okay, so you simply take pictures of both of you, the principal applicant and then the sponsor, with family and friends, and you select 20 of such pictures. Okay, and what you do is you put them on a Word document and you provide the name, because note okay, providing brief description. So it says please upload separate document. So this is the document that I'm gonna upload. Providing a brief description of context of each photo provided. Label your photos accordingly. Okay, so what I did was I took this picture. So these are like some dummy pictures from the internet that I got, and what you do is like you put your name, date of birth of the principal applicant, and then you put the context. Okay, so over here celebrate primary applicants, grandparents, let's say grandmothers. Okay, grandmothers birthday at, you put the place. Okay, then you put left to right, you explain who are these people. Okay, so this is grandfather, then this is Christina's family friend child, this is the primary applicant who is the Christina, and then this is Christina's grandmother, and then this is the sponsor who is Justine, and then this again is Christina's family friend's child. Okay, and you put the date where it was celebrated, 2020 November 23rd. So now whoever who looks at this picture knows who are these people. So our objective is to prove that this is a genuine relationship. So more outsiders know about this relationship, it makes it more valid. So that's what we're trying to prove. Okay, so likewise here, so this says basic details, context, dinner with primary applicants, school friends at this place. Okay, so from left to right you would say friend's wife, friend's child, and this is Justine, Christina, friend and friend's child. Okay, and you put the date over here. So this is a picture taken on the wedding day itself, because you see here wedding, customary celebrations, engagement, and outings. Okay, so over here you again put the name and the date of birth, context, wedding couple with their grandparents at the wedding reception in this place. Okay, so from left side it's Christina's grandfather, then the grandmother, this is the grandmother, then it's Christina and the James godmother, James godfather, and this is on the day they got married, which is 2021 January 10th. Okay, legally married. Okay, so likewise what you have to do is select, they are asking for 20 photographs, put it in an organized manner, and then what you're going to do is you have also included a footer at the beginning, so whoever who opens this document would know what document they are in. And what you do is that you save it as a PDF and you upload it. Okay, I have so this mainly comes under, what is the section, proof of relationship to sponsor section. So when you're uploading this file, you can actually select the relevant category, document type, and upload it. So that's how you would do this section. Okay, this one. And moving on, select at least two of the following four options and provide document requests for each. So at least two of the following four options. Check which options you are selecting. Important documents for you and your sponsor showing that you recognize each other's as such as employment insurance benefit. Document evidence of financial support between you and sponsor and shared expenses. Okay, this is one we did. Other proof that your relationship is recognized by family, friends, social media information, and this is also one we did. Document evidence of financial support between you and your sponsor. So what happened, in my case what happened was that after getting married on a monthly basis, my spouse, before he left, we actually created a joint account in a bank, and on a monthly basis he sent an amount for my basic expenses and I would use it. So in this one we actually provide the proof of the bank account, including the bank details, also the bank statement, as well as the proof saying that it is a joint account. Okay, and that's what, again we provide the screenshots in a Word document with explanations, and then we convert it to PDF and we attached it as the evidence of financial support document. Okay, so it's this one, it's about that. And in terms of other proof that your relationship is recognized by friends and family, so what happened was that after the event of our wedding date, there were pictures which were posted on social media, as well as pictures which were shared through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger with family and friends who couldn't make it. So those information, screenshot of those posts or communications, we took them and we put them again in a Word document and provided explanations, and we attached it as this proof, and it is this proof of relationship recognition by family and friends. Okay, moving on. Okay, that leaves us with these unhighlighted items. More information to support relationship was another document we did, which included especially items like the so because this is was a proposal, which included the post which was posted on the newspaper, initial communication between parents, and also the initial message which was shared between the sponsor and the primary applicant, as well as the gifts which were exchanged within the time period they were in a relationship, like the cards, the gifts for Christmas and for birthdays. That also the the sponsor during COVID sent a box filled with food items. So proof of that also was included, and also the visits, and when that sponsor visited Sri Lanka for a short time period, the bills of the restaurants and bills of the cafes we went to were also included. And also during the wedding, it's a custom in Sri Lanka that the spouse, like the husband, buys gold items, including the change, the rings for the bride, as well as the bride buys the rings for the groom. So invoices of those transactions, as well as the hotel bill, were also included in this more information to support relationship file. So always include a small description of the type of supporting that you're providing, so whoever is going through it will know in and out about, and will have not know any doubts in terms of the supportings provided. So moving on, the PR photo original. Remember, we provided the PR photo with photographer's detail. So when I went and got my photo done, the photographer also gave me the soft copy of that photo, which I included in this one. So simply it was a JPG file, and I included it in my application as well. This one, 5406 additional information. Remember, it comes from this MS form, this form, because we did not have enough space to provide the names in the mother language for single, so that's why we did that one, and so it will represent this one. Okay, and finally, if you go to your account, you will see under documents should be our site for language skills, language proof of language proficiency. Because I had done the IELTS general and it was valid by then, I thought of including it as a proof of my language proficiency. So that's how you would do this section. And finally, what you need to do is that you will include the proof of payment here, which was initially discussed in our first video, and that comes here. Okay, proof of status is the primary applicant, sponsors. Let's go from bottom to top. Primary applicant also, they don't ask for any birth certificate, nothing. Birth certificate is requested of the primary applicant, so this is primary applicant. Sponsor, they are not asking for photos, but it's asked at this point. Okay, photos, this one, okay, it's that one, so it's again primary applicants. Police clearance is also primary applicant, and travel document and passport is again primary applicant. So only this is the sponsors, the rest primary applicant. So what you can do is that instead of uploading it here with the category, you can simply upload the documents you do here. Okay, yeah, so make the numbering, of course, ensure you follow a proper manner, logical manner, and finally we'll be submitting this also, so they will get a good understanding as to what document is where. Understood? So finally, if we go from top to bottom, these are the forms that we filled, both these sections. Then over here, additional application forms, if you have to fill them, you can go and select them and fill them and upload them. These are the additional supportings, this is part of it. And over here, this is where you upload the payment receipt you get after making the payment. Okay, it's over here. Okay, and then what you do is that consent and declaration, you can start this and complete it, and then finally when you are 200% no 1000% confident in the data you have provided and spellings, data, and it's been reviewed multiple times, then you can go and submit your application. Okay, so that is what needs to be happening in a nutshell. Okay, yeah, so once you have completed this, you will see your application over here as submitted, and you will not be able to view it. Okay, in order to view it, you need to create a different account. And in my next video, what we will do is we will go through on how to view the status, as well as what are the support you have as a result of like the social media and Google Excel sheets you all have, and also what are the Facebook pages you all can go and ask for help, and the WhatsApp groups, and yeah, and then also what will be the timeline in terms of getting response, and what type of documents you will get that shows the progress of your application, and what type of activities that you will have to do as a result of submitting this application. Okay, so stay tuned for my next video. I definitely believe the supportings under primary applicant were a bit challenging compared to the supportings the sponsor had to submit. What am I in a nutshell? What I have to say is that provide as much as possible proof, documents, and supportings. Okay, thank you.